Same parent company, same engines, sometimes even the same factory. So why does a Kia feel sharper and more aggressive, while a Hyundai feels smoother and calmer? By the end of this video, you'll discover why the biggest difference between Kia and Hyundai might not be under the hood at all. The strange Hyundai-Kia mystery. When you jump from a Kia Sportage into a Hyundai Tucson, the difference is immediate. The Kia feels sharper and more playful, while the Hyundai feels smoother and more relaxed. Same family, completely different personalities. And that's what makes this so interesting. These aren't rival companies, they're siblings under the same roof. But before we figure out why they drive differently, there's a bigger mystery. How did these automotive siblings even end up together in the first place? To understand that, we've got to rewind a few decades. Hyundai officially entered the car business in 1967. Before that, it was mostly known as a construction and engineering company. They started building cars through licensing deals with Ford, and slowly began creating their own identity. Kia's story actually goes even further back. Kia was founded in 1944, and it didn't start by making cars at all. It began with bicycle parts and steel tubing. Later, Kia started building vehicles under Mazda licenses, and gradually worked its way into the car business. Then came the moment that changed everything. In 1998, during Asia's financial crisis, Hyundai stepped in and bought a controlling stake in Kia. From that point on, their futures became connected. Hyundai eventually reduced its ownership, but it still remained the dominant force behind what became the massive Hyundai Motor Group. Now here's where things get really wild. Today, these companies share almost everything. A Hyundai and Kia often ride on the same platform underneath. Factories build vehicles for both brands. Engineering teams develop engines together. Transmission technology, electronics, safety systems, they all get shared across the family. A Kia Seltos and a Hyundai Creta, underneath, they're practically cousins with matching DNA. So logically, they should drive the same, right? Well, not exactly. Because despite using nearly identical ingredients, Hyundai and Kia somehow bake two completely different cakes. And that's where the real engineering magic begins. Same engines don't always mean the same behavior. Tiny changes in software tuning, throttle mapping, transmission calibration, suspension setup, steering feel, and even sound insulation can completely transform a car's personality. The secret hidden under the hood. And something most buyers never realize is that the different Kia engine and different Hyundai engine everyone argues about online is literally the exact same engine. Yep, same metal, same dimensions, same internal hardware, sometimes even rolling off the exact same production line. Under the hood, Kia and Hyundai share entire engine families. We're talking Gamma engines, Theta engines, Smartstream engines, and Kappa engines. On paper, they're practically twins. Same displacement, same engine block, same bore and stroke, same compression ratios. If you popped the hood on certain Kia and Hyundai models from the same year and removed the badges, you'd struggle to tell them apart. And this is where things start getting weird. Take the 2.4-liter Theta II engine found in vehicles like the Kia Sorento and Hyundai Santa Fe. On the spec sheet, it's basically a copy-paste job. Same 88mm bore, same 97mm stroke, same direct injection system, same core architecture. The mechanical ingredients are nearly identical, so naturally, you'd expect them to feel identical too. But spend just 5 minutes behind the wheel of both, and suddenly things stop making sense. Because despite sharing the same hardware, the personalities completely change. The Kia often feels more eager, almost like it wants to leap forward the second the light turns green. It feels sharper and more awake. The Hyundai? Usually smoother and calmer, delivering power in a more relaxed and refined way. Now you might be thinking, how can the same engine suddenly develop two different personalities? The tiny change that changes everything. The answer is surprisingly simple: software. Modern cars are basically computers with wheels. Hidden behind the scenes is something called the ECU, the engine control unit. This little electronic brain controls fuel delivery, ignition timing, turbo behavior, valve timing, and how power builds through the RPM range. And tiny changes here create massive differences in feel. Throttle response can be adjusted. Transmission shift points can change. Gear ratios can be tweaked. Even intake sound and exhaust tuning can alter your perception of speed. Take the 1.6-liter turbo gamma engine as an example. It can make nearly identical power figures in both brands, but put that same engine in something like a Kia K5 GT, and suddenly it feels more responsive because the throttle mapping and transmission tuning are more aggressive. That's the secret. The engine hardware may be born in the same factory, but the personality gets programmed before the car ever leaves the building. So now we know the hardware secret. Same engines, different personalities. But if the parts are shared, who decides whether a car feels calm and refined or sharp and exciting? That comes down to philosophy. Because Hyundai and Kia aren't really selling engines, they're selling feelings. And if you're enjoying the breakdown so far, make sure to subscribe. We love doing these kind of comparisons to keep you updated on the strengths and weaknesses of the Kia car brand. Okay, let's start with Hyundai, the calm side of the family. Hyundai looked at the market and understood something important. Most people aren't attacking canyon roads or pretending they're in a race at every stoplight. Most drivers are sitting in traffic, commuting to work, driving kids around, or spending hours on highways. So Hyundai built its entire identity around making those everyday moments easier. That mindset changes everything. Hyundai tunes its engines for smoothness first. Throttle response is softer, meaning you need a little more pedal movement before the car suddenly jumps forward. Transmissions shift earlier to keep RPMs low. That means less engine noise, better fuel economy, and a calmer driving experience. Even intake and exhaust systems are adjusted to remove harsh sounds. Instead of hearing an engine constantly reminding you it's working, Hyundai wants the car to quietly fade into the background. And honestly, for millions of buyers, that's exactly what they want. Cars like the Elantra, Sonata, Tucson, and Santa Fe feel predictable and easy to live with. You get in, drive, and never think about the powertrain because everything just feels smooth. Hyundai basically wanted the car equivalent of a comfortable living room. But then there's Kia. Why Kia decided to rebel. Because while Hyundai was building comfort, Kia said, "What if we made this more fun?" And suddenly the personality shift makes perfect sense. Back in the early 2000s, Kia started pushing hard toward a younger, sportier image. Aggressive styling showed up. Designs became bolder, and underneath, engineers started tuning cars differently too. Take the same shared engine and put it in a Kia, and the behavior changes. Throttle response becomes sharper. Tap the gas pedal and the car reacts quicker. Transmissions hold gears longer before shifting, keeping the engine in its sweet spot. Downshifts happen faster when you want to pass someone on the highway. And Kia even tweaks the sound experience. Intake and exhaust tuning lets more character come through, creating the feeling that the car actually wants to play along with you. Then things escalated. Kia introduced GT models and leaned heavily into performance. Cars like the K5 GT and the Stinger showed that Kia wasn't interested in being just transportation anymore. They wanted attitude. Same engines, same family, completely different mindsets. And suddenly all those differences people swear they feel behind the wheel start making a lot more sense. Now up to this point, the Hyundai and Kia story almost sounds clever. Same engines, different personalities, different tuning, different philosophies. But then came a chapter that neither company wanted attached to their name. The engine nightmare that changed everything. Because for a while, the conversation completely shifted. People stopped asking, why do they feel different? And started asking something much worse. Can I even trust these engines? And if you were around the American car scene in the 2000s and 10s, you probably remember exactly where this was headed. The name was the Theta II engine, and for Hyundai and Kia, it became one of the biggest reputation hits either brand had ever taken. The issue centered around the 2.0-liter and 2.4-liter GDI Theta II engines shared across both brands. And the problems weren't small annoyances either. Owners reported engine seizures, excessive oil consumption, sudden stalling, bearing failures, and in some extreme cases, engine fires. And some reports involved vehicles catching fire without even being in an accident. Naturally, panic spread fast. But what actually caused all of this? Was it some giant design flaw hiding deep inside the engine? Surprisingly, the issue came down to something that sounded incredibly small: Manufacturing debris. During production, tiny metallic particles weren't fully cleaned out during a process called deburring. Those leftover particles interfered with oil flow inside the engine, especially around the connecting rod bearings. And that tiny mistake created a massive domino effect. Less oil flow meant increased wear. Increased wear led to bearing damage. Bearing damage led to oil starvation, and eventually, complete engine failure. One tiny production issue snowballed into a nightmare affecting millions of vehicles. Models like the Hyundai Sonata, Santa Fe, Kia Optima, Sorento, and several others suddenly found themselves at the center of growing complaints. Owners flooded forums, social media pages, and government agencies with reports of engines failing unexpectedly. Soon, recalls started arriving. And they weren't small recalls either. Hundreds of thousands became over 1 million. Then eventually, around 1.6 million vehicles from both brands became tied to the larger Theta II issue. Lawsuits followed. Investigations followed. Frustrated owners accused both companies of knowing about problems earlier than they admitted. Suddenly, Hyundai and Kia weren't discussing horsepower or fuel economy anymore. They were fighting for trust. But if both brands were sharing the exact same engines, why did people seem to blame one company more than the other? Because perception works differently than engineering. Mechanically, both suffered. The failures affected shared hardware, so neither brand escaped the damage. But emotionally, drivers reacted differently. Kia had spent years building a sportier image. Enthusiasts felt betrayed because fun cars are supposed to inspire confidence. Hyundai, meanwhile, built its reputation around comfort and dependability. Family buyers felt let down because reliability was supposed to be part of the package. Different audiences, same problem. And even years later, the scars never completely disappeared. Hyundai eventually expanded warranties, even offering lifetime coverage for certain affected engine components. But online, people still bring up Theta II stories today. Because in the car world, horsepower numbers disappear, but reputation? That stays around for a very long time. And after the Theta II disaster, Hyundai and Kia faced a massive challenge. They didn't just need better engines, they needed a fresh start. The reinvention that saved the future. And that fresh start arrived in the form of something called Smartstream. Introduced in 2018, Smartstream wasn't just another engine update. This was Hyundai Motor Group basically hitting the reset button on its future powertrains. Older engine families like Gamma, Nu, and parts of Theta slowly began stepping aside for an entirely redesigned lineup focused on modern efficiency, hybrid technology, lower emissions, and smarter performance. And honestly, this shift changed the entire personality of both brands moving forward. The automotive world was changing fast. Governments were tightening emissions rules, fuel economy standards were getting stricter, and buyers suddenly wanted power and efficiency at the same time. So Hyundai and Kia adapted by downsizing engines and adding turbocharging almost everywhere. Now you've got tiny 1.0-liter turbo engines making impressive power, while larger Smartstream turbo engines can push close to 300 horsepower. But the real engineering flex was something called CVVD technology. And this is the kind of feature most people never hear about, even though it's incredibly advanced. CVVD stands for Continuously Variable Valve Duration. In simple terms, the engine can adjust how long the intake valves stay open depending on driving conditions. That sounds tiny, but it's actually a huge deal. It helps improve power when you want performance, improves fuel economy when cruising, and even lowers emissions at the same time. Hyundai claimed gains in performance, efficiency, and emissions reduction all together, which is basically the holy grail for modern engines. And then came the hybrid push. Hybrid versions of Smartstream engines started showing up everywhere, combining gasoline engines with electric motors for smoother power delivery and surprisingly strong performance. Some newer Hyundai and Kia hybrid setups are now making well over 250 horsepower, while still delivering impressive fuel economy. The focus had clearly shifted towards smarter performance instead of just brute force. But despite all this shared technology, one question still refuses to disappear. Are Hyundai and Kia finally becoming the same car underneath, or do they still feel different? The truth hidden beyond the metal. Mechanically, they're honestly closer than ever. A modern Smartstream engine inside a Kia K5 and a Hyundai Sonata is fundamentally the same hardware. Same engine block, same turbocharger, same direct injection systems, same advanced technology underneath. But once again, tuning changes everything. Kia still calibrates its cars to feel sharper and more energetic. Throttle response remains more aggressive, transmissions stay in gears longer, and the overall driving experience feels more playful. Hyundai still leans toward refinement. Smoother shifts, calmer responses, quieter cabins, and a more relaxed personality continue defining the brand. The differences today are smaller than they used to be, but they absolutely still exist. And honestly, that's the real answer to this entire mystery. The engines themselves were never the full story. Yes, the hardware is shared. Yes, many of the engines are physically identical. But the final personality of a car doesn't come from metal alone. It comes from software, tuning, philosophy, and the type of driver each brand wants to attract. So if you had to pick one, are you taking Hyundai's smooth comfort or Kia's sporty attitude? Drop your thoughts below. And hey, if your engine hasn't exploded yet, hit subscribe before it develops character. On screen, you'll see another interesting video from our channel, or let YouTube choose your next rabbit hole. Either way, thanks for watching and drive safe.